Once you've decided in going to prom, you either go solo or on a date. For some, this is the moment they tracked on their calendar since freshman year. The chance to finally ask the one. Asking someone to prom is a classic high school thing, but that doesn't make the butterflies any less intense. It's essentially a high-stakes cocktail of social pressure, vulnerability, and the fear of the unknown. In that moment, your body doesn't know the difference between a social rejection and a physical threat. You enter fight or flight. Adrenaline spikes. Your heart hammers against your ribs. Cortisol floods your system, leaving that heavy pit in your stomach. Your hands shake. Your voice falters. Most of the time, the worst case scenario is a simple no and a bruised ego. But for one teenager, the consequences of a prom rejection were far more permanent.
This is Jump Scare. Thank you to all the Ghouliacs who listened to episode 1. It was very gnarly. For this episode, we have a special guest. He was also part of Ghoul Radio 3. Welcome back, John Ramos. What have you been up to, man?
Thank you for having me today, Rob. Since the last time we've talked, I've continued to learn more about esoteric wisdom. I've also started writing a book. It's still in the early stages, so don't want to reveal too much, but just trying to write as much as I can. And I've also been trying to stay healthy, been on a little bit of a fitness journey, being a little bit more disciplined, reading philosophy and embracing big ideas like fate and how everything's connected. Things are not feeling so random anymore, so it's been good. Things feel like they're falling into place.
Wow, so proud of you, man. I hope I get a chance to read it. Sounds like you're doing great. Now let's listen to the next chilling story of Jump Scare.
Something new, something borrowed, something blue. No, it isn't a wedding. It's the junior prom. If you're lucky, you'll go to your junior and senior prom. Hanging in her room, the sparkling blue dress is in her room. She's giddy. She's totally focused on the final details of the night. In just a few hours, the music will start. She's already practicing poses in her head, trying to figure out which angle looks best for the photos with her boyfriend. Enough daydreaming. She needs to go to school. The news is full of stories about the water crisis in Flint, Michigan. Scary stuff, but it feels worlds away from the excitement of today. Anyways, the prom. She's gotta hurry. Mom is dropping her off at school. It's a bit chilly today. Might as well wear a jacket. She really doesn't want to wear her jacket tonight. Her blue dress is so pretty, and it's strapless. Mom is acting as the ultimate prom season trooper, driving her to school and making sure everything is perfect. Bye, Mom. I love you. She steps out of the car, feeling like she's on top of the world. But as she walks towards the stairs, she sees him. She wonders if he's okay. She even told her mom she was concerned. She's gone to the school counselors because she thought he might hurt himself. He's a friend, but lately he's been different. Yesterday, he asked her to the prom. She had to say no. She was already going with her boyfriend. She hopes he isn't still angry, but he is. He's saying something, but the words are muffled by the noise of the hallway. Before she can react, he's on her. His hands are around her. Everything goes black. The hallway transforms into a living nightmare. He's on top of her, pinning her down. Other students are screaming. Someone is desperately trying to pull them apart. Then the glint of metal, a knife. Blood pools on the linoleum floor. He's taken to the principal's office. He's heard saying, "I did it. Just arrest me." 30 minutes later, the girl who would have worn the sparkly blue dress is gone. A life cut short on the day it was supposed to truly begin. Was this the inevitable break of a severe mental illness? Or was it the ultimate ego death of a prom rejection? One thing is certain. It was a date not worth dying for.
So, John, what did you think about the story?
You can look at this story from many perspectives. Some people are gonna look at the mom's point of view and think how sad it is, the fact that she lost her daughter on prom night. Others are gonna think about the girl and what she must have been thinking on that day, getting ready for prom, thinking about hanging out with her friends, dancing. People are also gonna think what the boyfriend must be going through. His prom night was also cut short. How is this gonna affect his life going forward, dating? But the truth is, most people are actually gonna think about the killer. What was the killer thinking? Why did they do this? Why would they kill someone who they supposedly loved or cared about? I think that in today's society, especially as Americans, it's sad to say, but we've been conditioned to accept these acts of violence as a part of everyday life. We hear stories like this and can't help but think how it's very common. We hear about school shootings all the time, people killing friends, neighbors, family members. And if you sit down and think about it, we could almost picture what this person looks like.
You mentioned we could almost picture what this person looks like. The socially awkward trope. Are we missing the real danger because we're looking for a stereotype?
They're probably a little bit nerdy, don't have that many friends. They probably are socially awkward. And we also start to think about what kind of behavior they must exhibit and wonder to ourselves, if all the signs were there, if people could clearly see what this person was like, why didn't anyone stop them? But we need to backtrack a little bit and really the truth is what happened here was no accident. And as a matter of fact, what caused this is rooted in all of us. I once heard a African proverb that says, "The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth."
That leads to your point about the village. If the village isn't embracing these kids, who is?
Basically, we have a young kid who feels rejected, unseen, unsupported by his peers and acts in one of the most horrific ways possible. I think it's easy to say that this person is evil, and I think that's almost a cliche at this point. I think that this is less about evil and more about unmet emotions and the way that people act out of desperation. I don't think that evil presents itself in the way it does in the movies. We're not looking for a monster. We're not looking for a shadowy figure. We are looking for people that look just like you and me. They present themselves as a normal human being, a nice person, maybe a little bit awkward. And the truth is that they're different. In reality, they're masking who they truly are.
You mentioned they're masking who they truly are. Is society, actually the one providing the mask.
What our society does to us, it forces us to behave in a certain way. We're kind of forced to assimilate into society, act just like everyone else. And by doing that, we're suppressing our emotions, holding all of that emotion in, and inevitably we explode. Most of us are not going to go to the extreme and actually murder someone like the kid in this story. But if we're not careful, we may act in ways that we don't want to. We may say things we don't want to. We may do things that we don't want to do, we normally wouldn't do, and end up hurting people that we love. And I'm not saying this to diminish what this person does. Clearly that's wrong. But I think it's also important to realize that people can easily get triggered. And it's especially in young men, I think people don't realize how devastating and how radicalizing rejection can be to a young man. Some men will internalize that and may become what people will call an incel.
That's a heavy thought. How does that suppression turn into the specific red pill or incel radicalization you mentioned?
Some people will externalize that and show this kind of women-hating, red pill, wacko behavior. Or like the guy in this story, they'll actually kill someone. I think what we need to really think about is, at the end of the day, we need to understand that at some point we need to understand who we truly are as people. We need to reflect, decompress, release those emotions in healthy ways.
So, if the village is broken, what's the first step for the individual? Is therapy or even AI a real bridge to safety?
Exercising, talking to friends, talking to family, maybe even getting a therapist to talk about how you're feeling, and do your own research. Use AI, talk about some of your past traumas, and learn a little bit about yourself, learn a little bit about what you're going through, and see if medicine is an option for you. See if there's maybe it's as simple as going to therapy. But yeah, definitely it's important to resolve these emotional problems and understand that we're all flawed human beings. No one's perfect, but we need to spread that message of mental health.
Well, thank you, John, for being part of Jump Scare.